All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, little white logo. Click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to hit that like button if you like these videos. Appreciate it as always. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I've been doing a lot of Twitter lately. I didn't do any TikTok videos the past couple of days, but I really wanted to deep dive into Twitter so you guys can see the charts I'm watching. If you guys were following us yesterday, you saw that pivot pop back to 42.52 on that support on S&P futures, then to 4,300. And I said after 4,300, who knows? Amazon did report yesterday. Apple did report yesterday. I didn't do a video yesterday. I did put the numbers up on Instagram and on Twitter. So if you want to check those out, I won't waste your time going over the numbers. Going over my take, Amazon is obviously trying to cut costs. Now you're in a position, if you're an Amazon shareholder, is if, hey, are we pricing them as a consumer discretionary or a consumer staple or a tech company? AWS is still great, but they're deaccelerating as well. Microsoft had a better quarter in terms of cloud, Google as well, than AWS in terms of expectations. And in terms of their costs, again, guys, they're turning into a Walmart. They're a behemoth. They do have pricing power. They do have their logistics. They're logistics behemoth. So, I mean, Amazon, I expect a little more in terms of short-term pain on it. Obviously, after the quarter, we're probably going to get down and kind of stay around the 2,600 level for a little bit. If you go to the daily, if you're just going by price action on the daily, we're down like 10% this morning. If you go to the weekly, you can see that 2669 is a very key level of support. You can possibly get down to 2446, which is your next level. Would I short here? No, I would not short here or anything like that. First of all, it's really expensive. And the second thing that stands out, the only reason I'm not trying to jumping into Amazon is that they're going to have a stock split. So again, no real reason to kind of jump into buying shares of Amazon today. I don't think it's worth it. In terms of Apple, they had an amazing quarter. To me, the best quarter of the major guys other than Microsoft. I wasn't as confident in Apple as I usually am, but they just keep knocking out of the park. 97 billion in revenue. But again, I own shares. I love the fact they're doing a 90 billion buyback. I love the fact that they're doing they're also increase the dividend somewhat. Again, it's telling me that they're all about shareholders. So that's a good thing. So let's go to the daily and start taking a look. I put an interesting chart up on Twitter yesterday as well after we got that pop. I said a break of 170. There's a gap to fill right around 174.48 on the daily, and you can see it here. So I did post that, and you can see, well, I think it's in the weekly, a slight gap. No, there was a gap, but I don't know if it filled or not. Well, either way, there was a gap to fill right around 174.35. I don't know where that is now, so that's probably gone. But a 170 break to me, that's really resistance you're looking for. We got close. Would I go ahead and rush in and do anything here? No. 162.65 in a sense is kind of like the same as 45. Was it 42.52? Excuse me, on S&P futures. Very similar kind of moves. You can see how Apple is trading. Again, that 162 level, 42.52 level, kind of very similar kind of price action since it's low beta. I thought Apple had a great quarter. Would I rush out and buy it? No, there's no real reason to get into it now. It's not really moving enough to get there. You're at 161. If you guys start getting to below 150, then again, it's interesting because that's the Russian invasion lows. How low could it go? It could basically get back to October lows around 137.95. If that's the case, I'm definitely picking up more shares. Apple is my largest stock position personally. My whole IRA is just Apple. This is how much I love the company. The Dow is down 130 pre-market. The future side, NASDAQ down 1.23. Apple Amazon pushing that down extra, down about 10%. It's such a heavily weighted on the NASDAQ. S&P as well. Russell down 0.42%. Crude oil down up 1% this morning. Gasoline up 0.23%. Gold futures up 1.19%. We had some news in regards to income and spending. People's incomes rose 0.5%. Spending grew 1.1%. Yields are up slightly, about 30 basis points at 2.893. The dollar finally starting to come down a little bit. At least. Let's see if it holds the more downside here. Maybe we can get down below 103, which would give us a good backdrop for a little bit of a bounce. The VIX is down 0.90%. I talked about VIX yesterday a lot, and right now all we are is holding down a downtrend. You can see it. I drew it here, redrew it for you guys. But again, 30 seems to be that pivot point. Once we start getting below 30, things start kind of easing up a little bit. Over 30 is usually a lot of fear. But 27 is the level I'm having for a breakdown. Again, kind of a descending triangle formation. How interesting would that look with the ascending triangle formation with S&P futures? Higher lows, again, but you still have the flat resistance at 4,300, 4,304. So 4,300 needs to be in view. The only way I would want to short here, I think below 42.10, definitely want to short down to those recent lows of 41.36, which gives us a lot of leeway. So again, you're right in the middle, 42.52, kind of around there. We're about 12 handles away. Again, keep an eye on 42.10. That would clear that uptrend, and then we'll probably retest 41.36. 4,300 is a key level. If that does break, I think the highest we go today is 43.20, maybe. And then that would be green for the week, and then also would kind of set us up for that end of the month April seasonality. After a tough April or a tough month, the last 3 days do well, because that would put us green for the day. So 43.04 is this level we're looking for, but 43.20 I think is the highest we go. Maybe 43.71 with some amazing news, who knows, but I don't see anything coming out. 43.20 seems to be that level where, you know, we're going to be trading to the top range. I think we stay below 4,300, 4,300 as well for now. But again, here is kind of the key level. Write this down. 42.52, need to keep that on your watch list. If that does break, keep an eye for possible 4,300 to break. If you want to start kind of positioning longs, possibly for a quick scalp, maybe for next week expiry, maybe 42.75. Maybe, but I would wait personally for 4,300. If that does break, then at least I get a little bit of room to catch something on S&P to 43.20, and then if that does break, great. But if we get a little more pressure here, Amazon sells off, Apple starts selling off, okay, 43.25, 42.10. 42.10 is the green light to go ahead and hit short. First target being about 41.80, and then down to 41.50. If you're trading futures, that's a nice little gain there if you're doing that. So that's what I'm watching. Again, that VIX downtrend is holding up. VIX uptrend is holding up. NASDAQ is still above that 13,000 level. That's what I'm watching. In terms of Apple, we did close yesterday. I did for like 20-something% before the earnings. Then it soared. I still have a runner. That's pretty much dead. I held Microsoft in terms of a signal I sent. I didn't get a chance to close it because it was moving so quickly and I was typing up all the info. Sometimes that happens. QQQ, I was actually green on Monday on it, and I held it, and now it's going to be red. So tough one. Again, a tough tape. But other than that, some really good trades out there for the week so far. Again, for all of this volatility in this tape and being so choppy, I think we did pretty well. Personally, just holding Microsoft kind of sucks. But really, the only one being a loser was Q's, and I had that on Monday. That's why I learned that lesson and closed Apple on Thursday. So sometimes you do learn, guys. Again, it's all about learning your flow, and you're all about making decisions. You have to be careful, but you have to have direct decisiveness when you're trading capital, obviously. All right, good morning. Good morning. Let's see here. Hey, morning, Carlos. Perfect opportunity to start a long position on Amazon. Not yet. I just talked about that this morning. So again, this question was a little earlier. Amazon, if we look at the daily, the really key level, again, it's been kind of stuck in a range for a little bit too, but you can see now we broke down below support, 25.88, so it'll kind of put us right around here. So again, really 24.46 is where it starts getting a little interesting there, because that is the 38.2 Fibonacci level based on how you put it. So 24.46, I would think would probably be a better level for you to go to if we get a little bit more of a panic today, which can possibly happen. So I wouldn't run out and buy it just yet. Keep in mind, they are going to have a split. So you'll probably have a little more of a shot then. Happy Friday, William. Morning, John. Thank you guys for joining today. In terms of the Twitter, again, I will be going over everything as I go along. Think of it as a blog. My Discord, guys, I want to ask you guys a quick question. Maybe you can let Kevin know for me. I was speaking to him last night. Kevin's right behind me looking at the markets. For those on our Discord server, do you prefer that I do a live blog? Actually, where I'm typing about what the markets are happening, literally like a diary on a daily basis on what I see? Or do you just like the YouTube, the Twitter, where I just basically do that already? But that includes news and everything else. So again, please let Kevin know if you like that. I can start doing that more often in terms of just kind of writing down kind of things I'm seeing, the notes. Oh, okay, we're getting above here. Let's start watching for that, because I don't update that often. But maybe that would help individuals to kind of see things what I see. I've done radio before on Discord, but that's voice. Not everyone can get on that. And then I've had the screen on, screen share, but it only allows 50 people. And we have a little more than that on our Discord. So again, I think maybe kind of a trade blog, daily trade blog, like how I see things in terms of numbers every day. I'll throw in some charts here and there. Hey, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, we're starting to see a pop. Here's kind of my take on it. Something I've thought about. I don't know if you guys are interested. Let me know. Thoughts on Nvidia, please. I believe in AMD reports next week. Nvidia, I'm not sure if they report next week. Possibly the week after. Looking at Nvidia, I own shares. So again, I do love the company. I definitely want to see their earnings. Again, based on their earnings is where I'm going to make my next move. Now, I said the same thing about Amazon, but Amazon's having a split. And that is a logistical thing. It doesn't really change the value, but it does change a little bit in terms of demand, possibly for investors out there that actually want to get into Amazon for the first time because it's so high priced. But looking at Nvidia here, we're now at 193. 180 seems to be that real heavy support there. I have it, I actually got to move this. This is actually right here, 162.40. I think 180 is pretty much probably the best you're going to get for Nvidia at the lowest level. I think it's a hold long term. I think it's a great company to own long term. Obviously moving with the Nasdaq, now being a big part of the S&P because of the weight of the actual stock. Remember, we were as high as 346. We came up. Again, it looks very similar to the Nasdaq futures chart. But again, kind of like right here, 179, it's kind of 13,000. Take a look at this. Kind of very similar price action, right? Kind of a bounce here. So Nvidia and Nasdaq are moving very closely. Same thing with Bitcoin. I mean, if you look at it, you have their pops, but this is an hourly chart. Let's take a look at the daily chart and we'll compare. And I mean, I don't know how else I can show you guys. It's pretty similar. So again, people always ask me about crypto. It's really based on the Nasdaq at the end of the day. Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation, never has been, and that's where we are. So we'll leave it there. Can you do a video setting up your charts on Thinkorswim with moving average type of settings? Yeah, I could do that. Let me do. I'll put that on YouTube. Give me a second. Where's my marker? I have my marker on my desk, and I forgot it. Here it is. Let me write that down for you, John. Video on TOS indicators setup. My setup. All right. I will definitely work on that. That's an easy one, John. No worries. I'll post that. It'll be out pretty soon. Just turn on notifications and I'll get that out to you guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Have a great Friday. We usually don't do a video on Fridays. You guys are out doing your thing. I'm all for it. So I'll catch you guys on Monday. Keep it locked on Twitter, guys. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. That'll always be free. So again, it's kind of like market notes on things I see on a daily basis. Really the 4 things I'm watching today: S&P futures, Nasdaq futures, the VIX, and I'm watching the dollar. I need the dollar to keep falling. I need the VIX to respect that trend line. I need S&P futures at 42.52, and I'm watching Nasdaq to hold 13,000 if you're a bull. If you're a short, we're waiting for 42.10 on the S&P. We're waiting to see if we get a breakout on VIX. A breakout on VIX would possibly be right around 31.23. That'd be a clear break of that trend line. And the dollar, if we start breaking above 103.71 again. So there you go. That's when we'll start getting a little more of a downtrend. So again, there's possibilities of maybe some quick snacks on Discord today on the short side if we start getting a move. So let's see. Have a great rest of your morning, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Let's see. Carlos, what are you watching for today for plays? Yeah, I just went over that. S&P, break of 42.10. That's futures. You can kind of look at it in terms of SPY. Nasdaq, I want to see if it holds that support. And the VIX breaks 31.27, and the dollar and the S&P breaks 42.10, left side of my screen. If that happens, I'm hitting puts on Apple and all these tech companies that report it because they'll probably get more of a whoosh down. So that's what I'm looking at today, if we get the volume. Okay, William says that he would like the market blog. Okay, let Kevin know, and then we'll get that set up. We'll see if that's the best way to do it. All right, guys, have a great rest of your afternoon, morning, day, afternoon, and we'll see you guys on Monday for the morning note. Cheers. What was that?